Student representatives, good evening.
The high school jazz ensembles recently got a new director, Mrs. Thomas. The students are very excited to be taking a new direction with the ensembles and are also glad to have permanent leadership for the program. Many students have been talking also about the lack of the February vacation this year, and while many students are simply unhappy with the change, it presents a more pressing issue for juniors. Many juniors have in the past used February vacation as a time for visiting colleges that they'd like to attend while those colleges are in session so they can get a flavor for the campus. But now students have to take their own time off from school using their college visitation days. And as a result of that, they end up missing classes, which puts those students, especially those in AP classes, at a disadvantage because they miss valuable class time and instruction and fall behind others in the class. I know this has been a complicated issue for the board, but I just wanted to make sure that this side of the issue was clearly represented. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. George, please.
Hello. Jenna couldn't be here today, so I wrote a little speech that I'd like to read. This being the end of the school year, I would like to thank the board on behalf of both Jenna and myself for giving us the opportunity to work with you throughout the year. The job of being on the Board of Education, at least from a student standpoint, can appear a bit dull at times, even, well, maybe boring. Some might say. I don't know. But as I was reporting to you what was going on throughout the school year, I realized that what happens in the board meetings ultimately determines what I end up reporting back to you. I've lived in South Windsor my whole life. I went to PRS elementary school, and when I was back in PRS, I never realized there was a higher body responsible for determining what happens for example, when record snowfall increases the danger of a roof collapse in an elementary school. I never knew or realized there was anybody to handle that. So even in high school, there are a lot of people who are only dimly aware of the other challenges faced by the Board of Ed. So representing the school this year gave me a chance to really see the inner workings of the school system, and above all, it really gave me an appreciation for the dedication of the Board of Education members that we have in this town. So I'd like to thank you again for the opportunity to work with you this year. Thanks.
Jason, it's been our pleasure. And tell Jenna we feel the same way. You've represented our school very well this year. Thank you.